So this is Great Ball Contraption World of Lights. Now this wouldn't be possible without a few key things. One of them is these glowing UV balls. Unfortunately, LEGO hasn't produced UV balls to date. However, a company called PV Productions does produce an exceptional UV ball, and that's what I'm running here tonight. So let's get started in actually walking around the loop. And my first module along is one of my mini golf modules. There's not a lot of additional lighting happening, other than that we can see this bright UV light down here. So I actually make my own custom UV lights by taking a LEGO Power Functions light, removing one of the LEGO LEDs, and then soldering on a 5mm UV LED. I've actually got a video and some instructions on my website if you're interested in more details on that. Now, the first module that I have lit up with a bit of extra lighting is the Easter Island head, and I've made the mouth and eyes glow with a red glow. One thing we will notice as we go around is there's lots of different colors on all the layouts, and that's all achieved, with the exception of the UV of course, by clear, shining white light through various colors of LEGO. The next lit up module along is the Pharaoh's tomb. We've got some lights coming out of the tomb. And you may notice that these flames seem to glow a bit more than you would expect. And this is actually taking advantage of their trans UV, and they fluoresce under UV light. So you get some extra glow on. We can really see it happening up here on the Pharaoh's staff. We can see that piece at the top really glowing. And that's just the nature of the UV light causing it to fluoresce. Next module along, the alligator run, we've got a nice lit up pool, and of course we have a glowing ball in the mouth. Now this glows a little bit more than you would expect because I put a UV light right behind that one. After that, the rock trap, there's not really a lot going on, but the next module is the tower bridge. And in this one I've taken the time to sort of shine lights up the middle to give that ambient lighting of the lights. And the Missing Good and Evil right at the end, his potion has been lit up as well to give that a real nice glow. From there we go into the long curve, and no additional lighting on this one, so we just get to watch the glowing balls themselves make their way around. However, the up and over bridge, I've lit up the flames on this. And it took me quite a while to find a way of getting a light shining straight up in the middle of the flames, but I'm really pleased with the result. In this case, I'm not using UV lights, it's just a straight trans clear LEGO light shining up the middle of the flame. From there, we have the windmill. This is one of my favorites in that during the day you don't necessarily realize the significance of the trans clear elements pinned to the actual sails, but at night you can see them fluorescing under the UV. So you really get to see the effect. And the lights themselves are down here at the front. I've got a couple of lights acting like spotlights. You can sort of see them there acting like spotlights. Of course, all the actual piston movements are lit up on these so that you can actually see what's going on as well at night time. From there we move into one of my rainbow piston lifts. This is the green lift, and we notice there's a green tinge coming from the light. After that one, we have my number 9 mine module. And this is a module that I think I like it more at night, because you can really see the 9 shape taking effect. But in this case, it's caused by all the glowing balls going around it. From here, we move into a simple Donahue chain lift. This one has a bit of light throwing through some trans clear blue for some effect. And we're also charging up the balls again. Now these particular UV balls, we don't need to charge them up as often as I'm doing in this layout. You can really charge them up maybe every 4 feet. However, if you do charge them up more often, they glow a lot brighter. And that really helps, especially when you're trying to film them on camera. In person, seeing with my own eyes, it is much more visually stunning. This module here is a cardan lift, and there's not a lot of lighting, a little bit on the gearing, but mostly I want it to emphasize the glowing balls and the action they're taking. From here, we're going into my tower battle module. Now this module I took time, we'll take a step back, see if we can see some of those tracer rounds firing up into the net. There we go, 1 or 2 up the top. So this tower, I've taken the time to sort of light various parts of the tower with different colour schemes. And all of this is just shining transparent light through Lego's transclear pieces, as I said earlier. We're lighting Spider-Man up red. I'll just adjust this light. It's meant to be pointing to the centre of the net. We've got a bit of light on Hulk so we can see him happening. Around here we're using, taking advantage of shining the light, ambient light coming out of the side of some transclear green to light up the green for Poison Ivy. And then it shines down blue to light up the ice for the ice construct from Elsa below. This trans piece I'm using for the construct for Green Lantern. I'm actually shining a little UV LED onto that. And that actually makes it fluoresce during the daytime as well. So that has an unnatural glow to it, watching this at daytime as well. From there, we have another one of my rainbow lifts. So next time I do a World of Lights run, I'll try and get these all lined up, because I've made sure that if it's red during the day, it's red at night, orange in the day, orange at night, etc. So you get a full rainbow not just during the day, but at night as well. From here, we can see a bit of carnage. I clearly didn't need to adjust the position of some of these modules. So we'll just grab a few handfuls of these balls and return them to the layout. One of the neat things about running World of Lights, as you can see, is the balls are very visible. So it's quite easy to find them. In fact, if I got my UV torch out, I'd be able to make these glow even more. Alright, the next module along is a wheel lift module. This one I've taken the time to sort of, once again, doing a bit of charging. And the reason I do a charge and an ambient light on a lot of these modules is coming back to that same thing again. So I've taken a standard Lego Power Functions light that has 2 white LEDs, taken one off, made it UV, made the other one, and left the other one white. So usually when I attach it to a module, it means that I'm also trying to do some ambient lighting as well. This one looks really cool when you have a wall behind it, because you get this kind of this flickering pattern, like we can see on my hand now, happening on the wall. From here, we're just into a simple ball pump, no additional lighting on this one. I'll just come and sit here for a moment so we can see the balls coming up and over. After that one, we have a Myco stepper. And yeah, no additional lighting on this one, but you can still see the really, it's a really meditative action watching the balls move from one module to the other. Now I'm going to take us 2 step backs now so we can try and get my full tower crane in. The tower crane, when I lit it up, I really wanted it to look like tower cranes you'd see out on building construction site. So both the booms, both the jibs are lit up, the jib and the counter jib. We've got the tower itself lit up. I used to have a little red flashing LED right at the top, but it doesn't look like that one's working at the moment. I have to add that to my to list. From there, I'm just going to come over here. The only charging I do on the crane is to charge the balls right before they go up and over the top. And this is another module. It's actually easier to see what it's doing during the night, because you can actually see those balls traveling along the top. They, of course, drop down into the catching net at the end, and then that drops into a reservoir module. This is very similar to my other piston modules in that I've lit up the mechanism underneath, so you can see what's going on, and we also charge the LEDs up. From there, we're into my Hoken module that's got a bit of red backlighting and UV charging on the balls. So I'll just come around here so we can look at that one a little bit longer. I really got excited about doing GBC at night after my first GBC show, because what happened there was a really good space display, and I'll credit iLug New York for that. They were really good at setting up cool space displays, especially for World of Lights, and I saw their display and just was enchanted by it all, and really wanted to do the same thing in Great Ball Contraption. And with the advent of good glowing balls, it's really made it happen. This one here is just a simple Donahue chain lift. Once again, we've got a bit of backlighting in red and some UV for charging up the balls. From there, we move into a Great Ball Pit Solaire. I really wanted to think of a way to light up the rings on this, and I'm not quite happy with this. I feel like I could put some UV tolerant, some UV around the outer ring, and then sort of do some front lighting so we get this spinning ring as well. Now, from here we move into a Brickworld ramps module. Not much additional lighting on this one, so we can see the balls tipping over. From here we're into a serpentine module. So this one I haven't added any additional lighting for, and that's so you can really watch the motion of the balls coming up. So we can really see that S motion. And there's some there's styles of this module where they run a little slower, and it's just really enchanting to watch the balls kind of S their way up. From here, we're into one of my my compact card and lift. We started way back with that Hoken module. All these modules have instructions, lawrieg.com/instructions, and that'll link you to the various, because there's lots of different designers in this section, not just me. And I'll link you to their website or to mine to find those instructions. So this is my cardan lift. I'm charging the balls up and putting a bit of extra light so we can see some of the mechanism going on. From here, we're into my little Christmas tree topper. So this is designed to sit on top of a Brickworld ball pump. And the only lighting on this is actually charging. So it charges the balls as they go up the middle. And it allows us to just watch the glowing balls come down the outside. Really quite enchanting. From here, it's a whirligig, a little hard to see in the dark. But you can still see the balls coming up and over there. We're then into a mining module designed by, this is a Rick Field module. And I've put a bit of extra lighting on this one's to sort of really give it that sort of earthy and mining feel. Looks like I might have a bit of a jam somewhere. So what I might do is, we've still got a few balls coming through, but we're almost at the end of the loop. So I'll just take it 2 steps on. The next few modules I didn't do much lighting in. So this is my GBC World of Lights. If you'd like to get involved with GBC World of Lights, you can definitely. There's nothing stopping you from doing it at home, getting some lights, getting some UV LED lights, and building some really cool modules. If you want to do it at shows, the only shows I know of that really do World of Lights are Brickworld in Chicago, and Brick Fair Virginia, Brick Fair New Jersey. As a personal recommendation, I'd say Brick Fair New Jersey and Brickworld Chicago are just amazing. It's pitch black, there's no ambient light. If you don't have a torch, you'll run into other people. And you get to see the true beauty of GBC at night time. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of the layout. Hopefully there wasn't too much blurry cam in there, and I look forward to making more videos.